Part 9. Christmas time is here, and this is one of my favorite holidays. Who am I kidding? This is my favorite holiday. I was approached to attend a weekend global leadership training. My first thought was, I am not a leader. I do not want to get involved in that because every time I do show any leadership skills, I am quickly hated by people. I did not want to open that door again. Not at all. But in my new walk, I have been telling myself something different. So, something different would be to jump out there and say yes. The training was December 9th, 10th, and 11th. The night before I was supposed to go, I had a nightmare. Now, I have not had a nightmare, and I don't know how long. It was very clear that the enemy did not want me going to this training. I remember in the dream, I was calling Miss Kayleen and letting her know that I would not be able to make it because of an emergency. So when I woke up, I knew I was making the right decision and going. It was amazing, the things I learned. God had me talk about something I hadn't spoke of in over a decade. A room full of strangers. He showed me the issue I had with my mother. I'm sitting there thinking, God, I don't want to tell these people this. He brought back to my memory that I had been dreaming about a gentleman that was directly connected to the issue, but I hadn't put two and two together. Now, see, I had been asking him for months since I started my walk. When are we going to talk about my mother? All I got was crickets, silence, nothing at all. I even said to my husband, I wonder when he'll show me what my true issue is with my mother. The last night in training, I received a word that my children would be the next generation to serve the living God. He said that I need to have no fear about this, no fear. That my husband and I had everything we needed to raise these children already. Now, this was so exciting, but I don't think I still truly believed it because all my thoughts were still, well, then, when, Lord? Why have you made me wait this long? You told me 5 years ago I would have children, and still, nothing. So I began to question him in my mind. In church that Sunday, the sermon touched my heart. I just couldn't believe it. It is what everyone would call confirmation. The sermon title, get this, was What to Expect When Expecting. I thought the timing is just so weird. How perfect, the morning after the word from God. The pastor gave 5 key points. 1, expect shifting. Things that used to matter don't matter anymore, and you don't need to know all the details. I am definitely a detail girl. Number 2, expect to be different. Won't be able to do what other people do. And to fix your eyes on the unseen. I won't be able to do what other people do. Man. Then there was 2 Corinthians 4:16 and 18. Therefore, we do not give up. Even though our outer person is being destroyed, our inner person is being renewed day by day. So we do not focus on what is seen, but on what is unseen. For what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. Point number 3, expect sorrow to turn to joy. He used words like heaviness, grief, annoyance. Yeah, I've felt all of those. Affliction, meaning pain or suffering. Yeah, definitely. Then he said Hebrews 12:2, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of faith. For the joy set before him, he endures the cross. I thought, man, it said expect hard times. I didn't know. Hard times I had already had. Point 4. Expect parallel production. That didn't mean anything to me. He said, don't rush this season. My thoughts were, how long will it last? Philippians 1:6. Being confident of this, that he who begins a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Jesus Christ. And point number 5. Get the room ready. Have enough faith to start behaving as though the baby is already here. Wow. Isaiah 66:9. Will I bring a baby to the point of birth and not deliver it, says the Lord? Or will I, who deliver, close the womb, says your God? Everyone who was in my training class kept laughing and staring at us. Tommy said, what did I miss? Why are people looking at us? I just looked at him and said, I will tell you later. I hadn't got a chance to have a conversation about anything at all with him. With the new year around the corner, I began trying to move on the instructions God gave me. Tried to encourage my husband and not let all my feelings get in the way, which is hard at this point. I am still learning not to live and move on how I'm feeling. A new year began, and I'm ready. So I thought. I began trying to think and design a nursery. But here comes fear. Very slowly, the enemy set in on all my thoughts. My husband and I couldn't see how we could start a nursery in the spare bedroom because our nephew was staying with us during the week. I prayed, and God told me, just start in the closet. See, at this time, I had no idea what starting a nursery really represented. So my thoughts were, why do you want me to do this? I may be waiting another 5 years. I will look silly. People will make fun of me. Why do you want me to go through this, Lord? I had no understanding at all. I would try to tell myself, no, Atlanta, just move. Don't think. So we went and got some baby clothes for the closet, but never began to clean the closet out and make room. Life began to separate me from God. My husband and I began to not see eye to eye on anything. Well, every married couple knows if you're not getting along, then you're probably not loving on each other. So how can you make a baby? Finances started to get tighter and tighter, which made me feel like I couldn't buy anything for the nursery he wanted me to prepare. So here comes fear again. I would cry out to God, like, I know you knew this would happen. So why won't you stop it? And the thoughts set in more and more that this is really going to take years